My name is Allison Marshall, Alice for short, and I'm not afraid of the dark. I was around 11 to 12 when I found the old teddy bear under my bed. I was drawing and dropped my crayon between the gap. I got out of bed and grabbed my flashlight. Bringing myself down to the ground, I shunned the light underneath to find a teddy bear lying next to my crayon. As soon as the light hit it, the bear sat up and looked at me. I gasped and turned the flashlight off while quickly getting back up on my feet. Doubting what I seen, I crouch and point the light back to the bear, who once again sat up and stared at me. Being a curious child, I experimented with the bear, who would only move in the light, didn't move at all when in the dark. I remember having little play dates with the teddy bear after my mother would go to sleep, bonding over the following days. Eventually, I adopted my newfound friend as Barry the bear. There was a particular game Barry liked to play, hide and seek. But instead of hiding to have me find him, Barry would collect certain objects like a doll, a jack-in-the-box, and a cymbal monkey. This game of hide and seek followed different rules. I turned the light off to let Barry wander in the dark. I count to 10 and turn the light on. I then make my guess to which toy Barry is currently behind. I pointed at the cymbal monkey, to which the jack-in-the-box popped out on its own. Light off then on. I pointed at the doll, to which the monkey started jumping. Light off and on. I pointed at the jack-in-the-box. It popped out, and I cheered victoriously. One night, I was too tired to play, so I went straight to sleep. The light in my mother's room came on, and the sound of glass breaking woke me up. I got up and went to go check on her. She stood there lifeless. I poked her arm to see if she was okay. She turned her head, revealing a wide, uncanny smile on her face, her eyes completely black. I stepped away and asked if she was all right. She pushed me into the hall and walked over to the drawers. I ran to my room and locked the door. I then sat in the darkest corner of my room and waited. Some time passed, and the house was completely silent. I quietly walked towards the door and peeked under it. A kitchen knife came swinging through the gap, sinking directly into my right eye. I screamed in horror and pulled away, my hand on my injured eye as blood rushed out. I used my free hand to open the window, then slid under my bed. I covered my mouth as my mother used the knife to slide past the lock and burst the door wide open. A burning candle was shoved into her mouth as a light source. The wax melted away at her cheeks and chin. She headed to the window, and just as she peeked her head over, I came out from under the bed and pushed her. Her body fell down 4 stories and landed on the trash can below. I looked out the window once, then went to the living room to call 911. They showed up a few minutes later and took me to the hospital. Over the years, I went home to home and eventually grew out of foster care. I now work as a tattoo artist in the downtown area and live in a simple studio apartment. Several doctors offered me glass eyes, but I stuck with an eye patch as a reminder of that night. It took a while to get over my fear of light. I was paranoid for a long time and only stayed in dark areas, taking only the night shifts. But as I grew older, the more time I had to process. It finally came to me, how Barry switched from toy to toy, possessing my mother. It was never the toys or my mother. It was their shadow.